Vicky Marie. And thank you for being here with me. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching from in the world. So today we are going to talk about Samantha Murphy, which is a case we've been following since right back in February when this is Samantha here, when she went missing, just going for a run. She went for a run near her home in Ballarat, Australia, and just never came home. And since then, someone has been, this is Samantha with her husband, Mick. Since then, someone has been arrested. Of course, Patrick Stevenson, a 23-year-old tradie from the area. He was arrested, but he's not cooperating with the police. And basically, unfortunately, Samantha's body still has not been found. So the reason I'm doing a video about Samantha, I like to do, although there's been no news since her mobile phone was found not long ago, there's been absolutely no news since. There's been a couple more searches, but nothing seems to have, they still can't seem to find Samantha's remains. They're convinced she's dead. They've arrested this boy for murder, and it's just a question of, will he ever cooperate and say where she is? Anyway, on the 8th of August, if you're watching this video as it goes out, it is now the 3rd of August. So in just 5 days, Patrick Murphy's trial will start. Now, first of all, let me just say thank you to everyone, say my thanks as the banner. Thank you to everyone for watching, for subscribing. Thank you, a special thank you to my members. You can join my channel. It's only $4.99 a month. And for that, you get 2 lives every week on a Tuesday and Thursday, 2 dedicated lives to members. Also, you get to use the members' emojis, and it really helps to support my channel. Having said that, liking, subscribing, that's completely free. That is also a brilliant way you can support my channel. Leaving me a nice message, sending me an email. Thank you to those who've bought me a Ko-fi or sent a super sticker or sent a PayPal. People who participate in the chat. People who don't participate in the chat and just watch from home. In any way that you support my channel, thank you so very much. Okay, take my banner off now. So, and going back, just one more thing. Sounds like Columbo. Going back to Ko-fi. So my Ko-fi page, which you'll find on my on the home page of my channel, if you want to buy me a Ko-fi, but also I have a Ko-fi shop, and I'm gradually loading up things, merchandise. A lot of people have asked about merch. Thank you to all of you that have bought merch so far. I'm gradually loading things up. There's only 3 things up on there at the moment, but I just wanted to show it you and let you know that if you are interested in merch, these 3 little angels, Elsie, Alice, and BB, bless. Anyway, I'm not talking about the Southport stabbings today. We're concentrating on Australian cases today. So thank you. And if you do want to look at merch, that's where to go, basically. Okay, so let's start with Samantha. So we covered Samantha's case from day one, haven't we? From absolute day one, when she went missing on the 4th of February, went off for a run and just never came back. So as I say, there's been quite a lot of progress in the case. Well, actually arresting someone and charging them with murder is progress, isn't it? But I know a lot of people are frustrated because poor Samantha's remains have not been found. She's not been brought home to her family to give them that final bit of resolution in this case. It's still that you know, it just must be awful thinking of her lying out there somewhere. Now, so I decided to do this because on the 8th of August, Patrick is appearing in court. You know, I really hope that by the time he appeared in court, you know, they would have found Samantha. They have been looking for her, but nothing seems to have got, well, they did find her phone and other things. And of course, the Australian police play things very close to their chest. We don't know what the substance is of the case against Patrick is. Hopefully we'll find that out as the trial starts. We don't know what evidence, why they arrested him in the first place. You know, we just don't know all the details. And hopefully as the trial transpires, I mean, he's not under 18, he's an adult. So it should be, you know, relatively, once it's, you know, it should be relatively in the public eye once the trial gets going. But the other thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is not only Samantha, but there's a guy called Patrick who is also currently missing in the bush in Australia, and his sister is desperate looking for him, and he can't seem to be found. And it's not thought that there's any foul play. It's thought that maybe either he's got lost, disorientated, etc., or maybe, you know, even he took himself off to do something to himself. I don't think it's clear why they think Patrick has gone missing, but he's missing, and he's 3 months missing, and they can't find him, and he's been searched for. So, you know, and the other thing I want to talk to you about is another case of a couple that went missing in the bush in Australia. An elderly couple went missing from their campsite. Their campsite was found burnt out, and their bodies were not found until the actual murderer, the killer, I should say, because he was only found guilty of murder of one of them, until he confessed because he was caught and said what had happened to the bodies. So I'm going to tell you about that, and that makes me wonder, is this what's happened to Samantha's body, and is this why they cannot find her? It's very, very sad. You know, you almost feel that maybe they won't find her unless Patrick eventually does open up and say where she is. So let's just start off by recapping Samantha's story, because it's been 6 months now, hasn't it? Yeah, so it was the 4th of February. So it's been 6 months since Samantha Murphy failed to return home from a run. And although a man has been charged with her murder, her body has not been found. She was last seen alive, bless her, on February the 4th when she left to go for a morning run. You know, this caused outrage, doesn't it? I don't know if it's changed anything, but, you know, you can't go out for a run on a Sunday morning and feel that you're going to come home safe and well. Anyway, she went for a morning run through the Wonnangatta Regional Park, known as the Canadian State Forest. So she's 51. She's a mother of 3. She'd left her Ballarat home on Eureka Street at about 7 a.m. for a 14-kilometre run, but her concerned family called the police after she failed to return home. And that is Samantha with her husband, Mick. Oops. Oh, my God. Just rolled right up, didn't it? So police believed she'd reached the Mount Clear area adjacent to the park about an hour after leaving her house. But despite extensive searches, Miss Murphy has not been seen since she vanished. Police allege she was murdered by Patrick Oren Stevenson, a 22-year-old man who is not believed to have been known to Miss Murphy. He has not entered pleas. No, he's not entered a plea. So he's expected to appear at Ballarat Magistrates Court on August the 8th. Police allege he acted alone, and investigators are still looking for Miss Murphy's body. He has been charged with murder, so by definition, we are saying this was a deliberate attack on Samantha. Now, this is the dam where they found the phone, do you remember, with the road running right past? So they have found her telephone. They said it was intact, and they've been able to, you know, so we'll see what data they've got off it. Anyway, Victoria Police confirmed on Monday that the investigation was ongoing and that the phone found during the search did belong to her. but there have been no further updates. Miss Murphy's husband, Michael Murphy, said he had contacted police after his wife didn't answer her phone and began searching nearby bushland. On that particular day, I was outside and I thought she'll be coming up that road pretty soon, he told 9 News in April. Then she didn't. So I think when the phone was found, we all thought that she would be found pretty soon. Anyway, this is a timeline. February the 4th, she leaves her Ballarat home at about 7 a.m. for a run through the Canadian State Forest. She's reported missing after she fails to return home. And Victoria Police believe Miss Murphy reached the Mount Clear area about 8 a.m, according to phone data they obtained. Mr. Murphy said he would not rest till his wife was found, and he wouldn't wish it on anybody. He reportedly met his wife at a pub in Gordon near Geelong. She was very kind. She was kind, caring, loyal, and would always offer to help anyone at any time, he told 9 News. You won't hear a bad word about her. She was a good mother, caring and always providing for everyone. She was always smiling and happy, and we want people to remember Sam for who she was. Anyone who knows her knows what she's like. He then teared up and added, it's hard for someone so good to be gone from the community. So he spoke at a rally against men's violence, and he urged people to speak up if they see something that's not right. And that was in April. This was that very tearful press conference. This is one of Samantha's children, Jess, the oldest daughter. And they spoke to the media. And remember, Jess was very, very upset. It was a very emotional press conference. And that was in February, just after Samantha went missing. Mr. Murphy also spoke at a SNAP rally against men's violence in Ballarat after 3 women from the regional city were killed within 2 months. The victims were his wife, Hannah Maguire, and Rebecca Young. He urged people to speak up if they see something not right, and thank the community. There was also, of course, in March, there was a celebration to honour her life at the Eureka Stockade Memorial Garden. Many laid flowers, and a book was available for people to record their condolences. Also attending was Ballarat MP Catherine King, Eureka MP Michaela Settle, and Wendouree MP Juliana Addison. So this is National Missing Persons Week, apparently, or it was, and they said they've selected the theme of always searching for her this year. And under this tagline, the Australian Federal Police are looking to shine a light on women missing for more than 3 months, which is that is considered long-term missing, followed increased community attention on violence against women. Now, don't forget, Samantha is a high-profile case. Everyone's was talking about Samantha going missing. People have invested in, emotionally and in knowing what's happened to Samantha, but there's loads of other women out there and men. Of course, we're going to look at a man that's missing. Missing people, it's a terrible thing, isn't it? The reason that might be, so sometimes people have been found after decades of searching. And he said that the reason that might be is people have come forward, or maybe finally decided they've held information and then decided to share it. And also, of course, advances in technology. 2,500 people in Australia remain long-term missing. That's just in Australia. Obviously it'd be the same probably in every country. And the Australian Federal Police are urging anyone with information to come forward. No matter how small the detail may be, it could be the missing piece of the puzzle, brings peace to the family of a missing person. And it is just that little bit of peace, isn't it? It's not, won't bring them back, if they're deceased, of course. They may not be deceased, they may have gone off to do another life, start another life elsewhere. But normally when someone becomes long-term missing person, it's unusual for them to be found alive, but it's not impossible, of course. But that bit of peace, just knowing where they are, and you can sleep at night, not worrying if they're being tortured or are they lying out somewhere. And, you can put them to rest. You can have a ceremony. We all deserve that, don't we? For our loved ones and for us. Life is a journey, isn't it? One thing you can be sure of is that you'll be, birth, you're born, and then you're going to die. I mean, it's just, in a way, you're sort of dying from the minute you're born, if you think about it in that way. But of course, some people will lose. Sometimes it's in the natural scheme of things, isn't it? You get old and you die, and and other people have to bury their children, which is awful, or bury someone like Samantha, who is, well, they'd love to bury her, I'm sure, rather than just think of her out in the bush somewhere. If she is deceased, they want to bury her with respect. They want to say goodbye properly. So, yeah, that's just a little revision, if you like, of the Samantha Murphy case that we've covered extensively. But, it's difficult to, I've tried to keep Samantha's name every now and again, do a video about Samantha, but it's quite difficult sometimes if there just is no news, that's difficult to keep going, if you like. But yeah. So now what I want to look at then is a case that I saw on my favourite YouTube channel, which is That Chapter, and they covered it. I don't know if it was recently or just a video came up about it, but it was a video that I hadn't seen before. Now, this is a case of Russell Hill and Carol Clay. And this is a very intriguing case because these are quite an elderly couple who were having an affair. And Russell used to go off camping. His wife thought he was on his own, but he wasn't. He would be meeting Carol Clay. And Carol Clay is his childhood sweetheart. And apparently they met up again later on in life, started having an affair. She was married, he was married. She divorced her husband, and he decided not to divorce his wife in the end for whatever reason. Anyway, but they continued having this affair, and they went off camping and they disappeared. And their campsite was found burnt out, but no sign of them. Anyway, eventually this man was arrested, Greg Lynn. So if you want to know the full, maybe I'll do a video about the full story, but on That Chapter, there is a video about the full story of it. But yeah, a farmer found this burnt out campsite. Anyway, with a lot of pains, without sort of going into the full thing, but a lot of painstaking police work, and this guy was pinned down, Greg Lynn, as being likely to have something to do with it. He then confessed that he had killed. So this is Gregory Stuart Lynn, 57. He's a former Jetstar pilot. Now, he pled not guilty to murdering Russell Hill, 74, and Carol Clay, 73. So these were childhood sweethearts who then sort of went off, did their lives, met other people, got married, then got back together, having an affair, and then were murdered together. I mean, my goodness. So, yeah, they vanished while on a camping trip in the Wonnangatta Valley. And I think it's, yeah, the Wonnangatta Valley, which is on the border. Is this it, or is this where the other person's gone missing? Let me have a look. As you know, my geography in general is not very good, but it's certainly not very good for Australian geography. Let's see. Yeah, it must be a popular place for campers. Let's see. Oh God, I hate it when they put these things up. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Anyway, so this is it, the Wonnangatta Valley. I can't see where it is in the. Don't know where it is in aspects of the rest of Australia, but it seems it's a popular place for camping. You know, there's a lot of beautiful places in Australia, isn't there? A lot of these, you know, it makes you worry, doesn't it? Because there's these bloody, you know, because of course they're quite isolated, aren't they? So, you know, you'd be worried, wouldn't you, to be out there so isolated, wouldn't you? But anyway, let's go back to the story. So anyway, when they find this was the burnt out campsite, yeah, that's what all that was left when they but the two the couple had disappeared. Anyway, it turns out what the guy had done, he said that he'd had a dispute with the couple, and he had the Russell, the guy had tried, was it called Russell? I think so. Had Russell Hill had attacked him first. So he'd murdered Russell. But he said he didn't murder Carol. I know he was definitely found guilty. Here's Mrs. Clay and Mr. Hill, childhood sweethearts who disappeared on a camping trip 4 years ago. So apparently he pled self-defense to one of the murders, and or maybe he pled self-defense to two, but he was found guilty of one of the murders, which I think was Mrs. Clay, and not guilty of the murder of Mr. Hill, because the jury accepted that maybe Mr. Hill had attacked him first. But of course, if Mr. Hill can't say anything now, can he? You know, we can only take this man's word for what happened, because the only other two people who know what happened are no longer with us. Anyway, so what he did was he killed them in the evening of March the 20th. He packed their bodies into his trailer and dumped them many hours away. Now, he set them on fire. He scattered their bones. So they would never have been found, basically. I don't think it would be very unlikely that they would have been discovered, except that he said that where they were, this is the guy who did the murders. So, but he's tried to plead not guilty. I mean, you know, you take bodies off and burn them and try and conceal them. How can you plead not guilty? But I wonder, you know, is this what happened to Samantha? Have her remains been so sort of tampered with that it's very difficult to find them? So anyway, prosecutors alleged that Mr. Hill was killed first by unknown means, and then Mrs. Clay was shot in the head as she was a witness. So yeah, he's saying that she was accidentally shot through the side mirror as the two men fought over a gun. In his account, Mr. Hill came at him with a knife, screaming, "She's dead," and was killed when he fell on the knife. Whatever. Anyway, the point of it, as I say, I will do a video about this, because it's a very intriguing story. I think because of the backstory as well of this couple. you know, who were having an affair because they were childhood sweethearts and met up later on. It's quite, you know, it's intriguing. Just, you know, you couldn't make these stories up, could you? I mean, it's like truth is definitely stranger than fiction, isn't it? Definitely. Right, let me put some windows down now. So is that where Samantha, is that what's happened to Samantha? You know, is that what's happened? We don't know, do we? Now I want to look at another case. So this is a current case of Patrick Liedke. He has disappeared. He was last seen on April the 22nd. He's 39 years old. Now we're going to have a look at a picture of him, but this is where he's disappeared. He's disappeared on the border of New South Wales and Queensland in Australia. Let's have a look at that. I have got that map up. Yeah, so this is where he's disappeared, along this border somewhere. Now, we can see, if you look at the map of Australia, it's over here near Brisbane. Let's just get back to the, yeah, somewhere along this border. He's disappeared. He went off for a walk. Apparently it's something he commonly does. He likes to be, it's Tomawin Mountain Road in the Currumbin Valley. He apparently likes to be in nature. He picks up stones and things and takes them home and makes art, etc. Anyway, he's gone. He's disappeared 3 months. So this is him, poor Patrick. Doesn't look very good when someone disappears for all that time. But his sister is still looking for him. Tweed headsman Patrick Liedke, and she's coordinating a new search. But bear in mind that this article was July the 13th. So, a sister of a man who went missing in the bush near the Queensland North South Wales border in April is calling for experienced hikers and trackers to join her desperate search to find him. He was last seen walking on Pigabeen Road in Pigabeen, west of Tweed Heads, on April the 23rd. His car was found on April the 26th on a property at nearby Kobaki. Maybe there is some foul play here. I'm not really sure. A coordinated search by New South Wales Police, SES, that's the Search and Rescue Services, I think, and VRA, I have no idea, was launched the following day. You know, I love initials. So this is the guy. His sister, Nicole Liedke, located fresh barefoot footprints in the mud on Tomawin Mountain Road in Currumbin Valley while searching with family, sparking a search by Queensland authorities the following day. Both searches were suspended by May the 1st. Nicole describes her brother, who has a disability and complex mental health needs, as a kind and gentle person who loves painting and golfing. So prayers for him, because let's hope that he is safe somewhere. I don't believe this is what she believes. He retreated to the bush as a place of solace. I don't believe he chose to go missing. It pulled him in an overwhelming need to be somewhere calm. Nature gives us the perfect amount of everything. It's our natural state. Although he is most comfortable in nature, she said, he would have become easily lost and may have disorganized thinking. The people who go missing are vulnerable, she said, especially the neurodiverse. It's not like a lost hiker who's going to sit around and wait for help. Oh, so I got that. Is a much better map than the one. So last sighting, Pigabeen Road, Pigabeen. Car located Bush Cherry Drive in Kobaki. And footprints located Tommy Wynn Mountain Road, Currumbin Valley. Where is he? Where are you, Patrick? She said Google account activity from his phone suggested he may have tried to use Google Maps to orientate himself. And the last person to see Patrick was a farmer who saw him emerge from the bush covered in mud and looking disorientated. He said, "Are you okay?" And my brother did not respond. He kept walking down Pigabeen Road. He was still so close to his car then. So since the official search concluded, Nicole has been coordinating community searches with the assistance of volunteers, local property owners, infrared cameras and trackers with dingoes. She believes the coordinated searches by authorities were insufficient given the size of the search area and the rugged nature of the terrain, and were hampered by the invisible border between states. I think the problem is, in these vast areas, you can only do a little bit at a time. There's no point in trying to do it up because you could literally walk through there. He could be behind that tree or his body could be under some leaves. Or, you could easily miss him. Easily. So you've got to do small areas carefully rather than big areas scanned. People think the police search until the person is found, but that's not how decisions are made. She said the longer he is missing, the wider the potential search area becomes. I'm tired. I've been walking every day, searching, door knocking, driving round. I'm never going to stop looking for my brother. So anyway, there's been, I'm on her Facebook page, or on the Facebook page for finding him. It said he's described as Caucasian, 183 centimeters tall, solid build, brown eyes, brown thinning hair and a bushy red-brown beard. And his appearance may have changed due to time spent in the bush. He cannot have survived in the bush for 3 months. I'm sorry. Don't believe that he can. Just don't believe it. Unfortunately, I'd like to think he had. He had survived, but how can you think that he had? There he is. There's a picture of him. Patrick, where are you? Where are you? So yeah, apparently the police told her they could not resource a full-scale operation without fresh evidence to narrow the search. It's, where do you start? But since then, she has been out every day scouring bushland. I think if she comes up with something or anyone finds anything, then the police will go out and search. But they won't just go out and search anywhere. So now there are drones have been used, and this shows you where the drones have gone. There's also, I'm going to show you some thermal imaging that's been taken. Anyway, she has strong hopes her brother's still out there, though this was quite early on. I don't know if she still feels like that. But she said, I believe that if anyone was missing, if you were missing, if one of your family was missing, you'd hope that no one would give up on you. No one would stop searching for you, she said. He is my little brother. My job is to protect him, and I'm always going to be searching for him. We have power as people. We see a lot. So it could just be a stroke of luck that you could see him. So this is his sister. It always looks so beautiful. Look how beautiful it looks. Of course, it's cold now, I suppose, in Australia. We're in the winter now. So, it just looks so beautiful, but it just hides so many tragedies, these bushes and the bush, doesn't it? So she described him as a gentle giant who loved to paint, had been involved in team sports and studied engineering. This is some of his painting. Oh, quite like that. It's a doggy, isn't it? 2 doggies, is it? Anyway, nice. So Queensland Police Sergeant Bo Namara has been assisting with the search on his days off, and he returned in a professional capacity on Thursday after some promising signs of life the night before. Volunteers had reported seeing some footprints in a stick hut on private property off Currumbin Creek Road in the Currumbin Valley. I'm just doing everything I can, tracking through the mountains and whatnot, Sergeant McNamara said. The community is rallying around the family. Obviously, it's a tough situation to go through, and so we are just throwing in as much support as we can. Oh, and this search and rescue expert, we're going to have a look in a minute, he's volunteered the use of his thermal drone, which is used to detect heat. Oh, this is a footprint believed to be his. Has he got no shoes on? Oh, God, why do they always go missing with no shoes on? I'm not sure if he has no shoes on or not. Anyway, Mr. Benfield said it was tough terrain and it was a large search area. The recent footprints are a good indicator of where he may have been. Family friend Kay Ball has also joined the search. She said hundreds of search hours could be clocked up if every property owner in the Currumbin Valley, Kabaki and Pigabeen areas spent some time each day looking for Mr. Liedke on their land. Dear me. I think, she said, I think it's very reasonable to hope that Patrick is still in good condition. As I say, this was probably a little while ago, and he is out there. So if we can all just keep going at this important moment, we will have a great chance of locating him. Now, having said that, when is this article? Ninth of May. So let's have a look at this thermal imaging. No, here they did think at one time that they'd found him, but unfortunately, it's not him; it's an animal. Gosh, it's amazing, really, though, isn't it? It's amazing what they can find. Anyway, let's have a look at this. So now it seemed to say that it had lost audio through there. Let me just play that again just in case. Yeah, so of course Patrick isn't the only missing person, unfortunately, but I'm going to start following this because I think it bears this relevance, to Samantha Murphy as well. So, that's a reason why I'm following it because you can't follow all of them. It's awful because you want to follow them all, but you just can't. Okay, so I want to see some good news here. So these thermal drones. I want to show you this video that shows you how a dog was found. A missing dog was found with these. I think just that picture there, though, shows you how difficult it is to look for bodies. I mean, not about the dog now, because bodies don't have thermal imaging, do they? Because they're not alive, so there's no heat coming off them. How just impossible to search these places, isn't it? Takes, just you could have 100 people searching that one area and you still might miss it. Oh, oh, bless. Oh, bless. Oh, God. Oh, no. I hope it's learned its lesson. Probably not. Oh. Oh, ah, that's interesting. As you said, don't think that just because you shout out they don't come, that they're not close by. They're perhaps maybe just scared. No, I bet they don't. And the thing is, it's that, I don't know what time of year this was. It looks quite luxurious, the foliage, doesn't it, and everything. But you can see the dog looks hot even then. This is first thing in the morning. How would it get through another day? I mean, it could probably only last 3-4 days at the most without water. Um, so it's such a, oh my God, it's such a relief that that dog's been found. Oh, oh, you can see the state of the guy. He's just had to go under there. That dog has been hiding right in the bush. It probably just, it's awful to think, but it probably just would have stayed there until it died. Bless it. And because it was scared and it was lost. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? And him just going in there to find it. Look, he's got in a right mess. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, you can see where it's been in the bushes. Oh, gosh. So yeah, it's terrible terrain, isn't it? Good for that guy with his bloody drone. Oh my God. Okay. Have I got one more video, I think, to show you? So let's hope and pray that Patrick is found soon. I mean, of course, we're still hoping that Samantha's remains will be found. But we will keep an eye on sorry, that's the wrong one. That's not the one I wanted to show you. What's the last one that I wanted to show you? This one. So this is his sister, Patrick's sister, talking about what it's like to have a missing person, the grief that you go through. Oh, oh. I didn't know dingoes could be pets, or or search dogs. That's interesting. Yeah, real people. Oh, that's got to be the worst, hasn't it? To never know. Yeah, this is another case that needs looking at some point. People have pointed this out to me when I was covering Samantha Murphy, and I just haven't got around to it. But Sandrine Jordan, she's another one. Yep. So now there is a GoFundMe, good old GoFundMe. Um, there he is, Patrick. Look at that beautiful. That's a beautiful scene, isn't it? And there's 2,240 Australian dollars so far. Only 25 donations. Oh, right. What's that coming up for? Um, missing people. It's funny how some missing people get so much more attention than others, don't they? And a lot of it's to do with gender. Male missing people don't normally get so much attention. Having said that, of course, Jay Slater got a lot of attention. Maybe that's because he was young, or maybe because his friends. There was a lot of social media sort of available to people to talk about. I don't know what the reasons are, why some missing persons seem to attract more attention. Of course, we've still got the case of Michael Frison, who's missing in Sardinia. And of course, the Down the Rapids guy has gone back to the UK, Paul Arnott. He's doing whatever he's doing there. And it's like Michael seems to have been forgotten, but maybe we'll highlight his case again soon. I don't think there's been any more news. I'll just check. As far as I know, there's no news. No. Nope, no more news. But anyway, so I will keep you up to date, of course, with all the cases, especially the Samantha Murphy court case as it goes on the 8th. So the 8th of August. Patrick should come up with a plea then. He hasn't come up with a plea so far. We've not heard at all from Patrick. So it'll be interesting to see if we do get any more information then. Okay, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like. And if you're not a subscriber, please think about subscribing. It's completely free. Free. And as always, I'll see you really soon in the next video. Prayers for Patrick. But I can't get my words out this morning. Adios. Oh, until I see you again, may your God go with you. Bye.